So welcome in. Like I said, lesson number 5, creating your product. We're going to go through a few things here. We're going to cover copyright, something you should do before you even get started. Then we're going to go through actually creating some products. So we're going to use the tools I showed you in lesson number 3, must have tools. We're going to go ahead and create some products and just see how those tools actually work. We'll go a little bit more in depth, and I'll be showing you some free tools to use if you don't have pro version of Canva for background removal and things like that. So we are starting with lesson number 5. Let's get right into it. Okay, before we even start designing our products, guys, we have to cover copyright. I call it CYA, cover your ass. You have to stay legal on Etsy. Hello, Shame Spiral. Welcome in from Minnesota. Welcome in. So we need to, I call it cover your ass. We got to stay legal. You want to build your store up. You want to have a great brand, and you don't want to get in trouble with using Disney characters like all these people here. I don't know if they have licenses to sell this. Just don't take the risk, right? If you don't have a license to sell a Disney sports team logo, celebrities, or anything at all that you yourself do not own, it's not, I know it looks cute, and even if you AI generated it and you think, wow, that's really cute, just check the rights of the images. Generally, if you know the company, you know the business, and I'm using Disney here as an example because, as you can see, Disney is profitable. But I can't believe that all these people got a license from Disney to sell this, right? It's very, very easy to find, properly licensed assets, so designs that you can use. You cannot use Disney. It's expensive to get it licensed. So it's not worth risking your shop, right? So we need to find copyright-friendly assets. Either you're designing them or you're purchasing them, and they come with that license to use them. And you still have to be careful when you purchase them. If somebody is selling a Disney one, you know that I cannot use Disney. So they are selling them illegally, and we don't want that. The last thing you want to do is have your shop flagged or taken down. And Etsy's really cracking down on that right now. So I'm hearing more and more people say they shut my store down, and it's like all because of one shirt. I don't think they're messing around. They're now, with the use of AI also, they are getting programs to scan the listings. And I mean, the first thing they're going to do is scan the word, Disney, and they're going to flag all those listings. So you don't want to work super hard on building your store. Say you have 100 listings, and all of a sudden you say, oh, this is cute, it's trending, I better jump on this and use the Disney. Don't do it. It's not worth the risk of your hard work, especially when you get up there. Welcome in, Nikki S. Welcome in, Michelle. Welcome in, everybody coming in. We're on lesson number 5. We're going to create a product. We're just covering copyright now. Hi, Buskandoa. So we're covering copyright. If you in doubt, don't do it. And it's very important, like I said, when you get up to, 1, 2, 300 products, it's not worth it. And I know you're going to see a lot of stores. Like, look at all the listings here with Disney. Let's just jump quickly into, let's go into the NFL. Let's do a shirt. You're going to see them, Detroit football. You're going to see all kinds of stuff. This is not, if you don't have the license for this, you shouldn't be selling it, right? This is a no-no. Well, exactly. Exactly, Shame Sprout. It's so much work setting this up. Why throw it away on something like Disney? Yikes. Because people they see it's trending, and they want to cash in on somebody else's intellectual property. If you want to be successful, I advise against it. And like I said, with the evolution of AI, it's just not worth it. They're gonna slowly find these people and shut them down, because really somebody's selling intellectual property on Etsy, and Etsy is a business. So are they infringing too by having these listings up? So I know there's so many listings that it's hard for them to keep up. So there are plenty of other sites that you can get if you're not designing yourself and you need a little bit of help. There's plenty of sites where you can get assets that you have the commercial license. When you say license, do you mean a business license? No, I mean when somebody's intellectual property like Disney, you can contact Disney and apply for a license, licensing rights, just like when you see a NHL, NFL licensed product, that means that they have the license to sell it. So it's a special thing that you apply for with that company. And I don't believe Disney hands out licensing rights. That's their business, right? So that's what I mean by license. I don't mean a business number. I mean a license from the company to make their stuff. And it costs quite a bit. Let's take a quick look here. Let's ask ChatGPT, how much does it cost to get a license to sell Disney designs? Let's see what ChatGPT says. And it's just thinking. So there's many sites that you can get actually items that you can have the commercial license to, like Creative Fabrica, Design Bundles. There's Adobe Stock, Shutterstock, Unsplash, Pexels, Pixabay, Canva Pro. I mean, all of those you get the license. To sell products featuring Disney designs, you need to officially license the intellectual property from the Walt Disney Company. However, the company doesn't publicly publish standard licensing fees. Cost depend heavily on several factors, including product type, distribution scale, royalties, upfront set fees, and minimum guarantees. Duration and territory of the license. So there's not a one-size-all-fits fees. Let's say, can you give me approximate? Can you give me an approximate fee to license a product? So let's see if it'll give us an approximate amount. I'm running a little slow today here, Mr. ChatGPT. Okay, minimum guarantee, often $5,000 to $50,000, depending on the scope and brand. Sometimes required an upfront licensing fee, setup admin fee, royalty rate. It's very expensive to get something licensed. So when you go back here, there's no way all these people paid a licensing fee to make Disney products. They're just selling them while infringing on somebody's intellectual property. So what I'm saying is it's not worth it. We're much more creative than that. We can make incredible designs that will sell without running the risk of losing our shop. And with Playground AI, which we'll get into when we're designing after we're done the copyright, gives you the commercial license to items that you prompt. So when you prompt an item from one of their templates and you completely change it up, you own the commercial license for that. And that is part of these AI programs that we will be using. So we don't use these templates because these are somebody's intellectual property that they made for Playground to use on their site. We have to alter these. I'm starting to see more and more people using these templates. Why is my hand shaking? Yeah, there we go. It's doing a little... It's got the shakes hung over from the weekend, I guess. It's just shaking away. So we can't use these ones. We're going to have to prompt them and change them up. So you own the assets you generate. So you know you're safe. You don't have to worry about your store being shut down. I'm going to get out of there, see if this stops shaking. Okay. So you own that when you generate it, whether you're on the free plan or the paid plan. So the images you produce is yours to keep. So you can sleep at night. And just remember, you can't legally use somebody else's prompts anywhere. That's their prompt. They've used it. Now, the one thing, too, about copyright, it's not just companies and designs. It can also be words. It can be words. So the word boy mom, believe it or not, is trademarked. So unless it's the person who has the trademark, boy mom, this one cannot be done. Mama, yes, but boy mom, and the person who owns the copyright to that, the trademark to the words boy mom, is very vigilant about it. She or he will send a cease and desist. They will report you to Etsy. And I know you're saying, "Oh my God, Tina, that's crazy. How can we trademark words?" Well, you can, and you will be reported by if you use boy mom. And anybody who has boys, they're a boy mom, but it's been trademarked. And you say, "Well, how the heck am I supposed to know what words are trademarked?" Well, I'm going to show you. Let's see. So we'll start with in the US first. If you go to USPTO.gov, we're going to go under trademarks right here. And we're going to search the trademark database. And before you even design anything, you're going to come here to make sure, if you're using words, that your words are not taken. Sayings, song lyrics. So we'll go into here and I'm going to type boy mom. And then you just hit search. So you can see one when you first start. This one's all capitals. This one was abandoned. It tells you the company. I appreciate you diving into this. Oh, no problem, Larissa. No problem. Welcome in. Boy mom. All capitals, registered. Here's the company, where they're located. You cannot use those words. And if you go down, here's abandon, all capitals, abandon. If you scroll down here, boy mom, watches, bracelets, jewelry, namely pendants. In my boy mom era, someone abandoned that. Another boy mom, clothing name, shirts, t-shirts, tank tops, pants, skirts. And then we have lowercase boy mom, beer glasses, beer mugs, candles, ceramic sock boots. So we know we're going to stay away from that. I don't want the headache. Okay, let me just go back for you and show you the site again. This is for the US, and I'll show you one for Canada. USPTO.gov. And I'm right into the trademarks. So if you just go to the beginning of that, USPTO.gov, you're going to come to trademarks. Search our trademark database right here. You're going to click in and you're going to trademark search. So do that first to make sure you're not taking somebody else's registered trademark. We discovered another one while we were designing. It was trending, Summerween. And we see that it's pending. So we are able to use this. And they're probably trademarking this particular font. And they're saying decorative pillows. And it goes on. You can click on and read about the whole trademark. We got Summerween right here, pending. While it's pending, you can. It can take anywhere from 4 months to 12 months. Depends how busy they are. But once that goes into live, you cannot no longer use that. So we've got quite a few. These look to be fonts, but then they're saying decorative pillows, throw blankets. So they're also trademarking the style of font. Pending. Hi, Kadena. Did you find where the partners was? Sorry, I was not home. Did you find where the partners information was under settings? Just let me know and I can quickly show you that. So we're going to check words. So we know chit is really popular right now. So do it, lady. Do it, lady. So it's pending. And that was, I think, on June. I come in to take a look because I thought I'll go register it, and then I can sell them the trademark for it. But it was, I think, in June that they went to register it. So in June. So you have to check everything to see. Okay, Kadena, I'll quickly show you. She had a question where she added the partners for Printify. If you go here to settings, and if you go partners you work with, it'll be right here. And you will just add your production partner right there. So it's under settings. Hopefully that answers your question. Yes, that is for the US. You can use, if it's registered in the US, each trademark needs to be registered in each country. So you can go to whatever country you are in, and I'll go to the Canadian one, and we'll do the same ones. So we go in here, we're going to go to, oh, let me go back. Sorry, I forgot to show you that. So you're going to go to ic.gc.ca. Okay, this is for Canada. But if you're selling to the US market, you have to check those trademarks. Even though it's made here and shipped there, you're still infringing. So you have to watch that. In Canada, and we'll just scroll down, and you're going to go to trademarks right here. We're going to search trademarks. And then you just enter. And I'm going to do Boy Mom. So the trademarks come up. As you can see, there is no Boy Mom. So if you're selling just within Canada or within your country and it's not trademarked, you feel free to. You can do that. But if you're selling to the North American market, you cannot send something to the US because somebody in the US purchased. They're infringing on a trademark and you're selling it to import it or export it. So you could sell Boy Mom without any worry in Canada, but you cannot sell to the US market. So same with the UK. You can go check their patents too if you are in the UK. Wherever you live, everyone has a trademark office to see what's trademarked in their country. So basically what you want to do is you want to just make sure that everyday phrases that we think, oh, nothing of it, right? But then the next thing you know, your store's been shut down and you have no idea why. And then you rack your brain and you think, what have I done wrong? Well, somebody's reported you for using their intellectual property, and they should contact you and say, hey, listen, you're using my trademark. Would you mind taking that listing down? I think most of us would say, oh, I'm so sorry. I did not know that. 100% I will. Thank you so much for making me aware of it. But some people are a little bit more vicious and will just report you to Etsy saying somebody is using my intellectual property. And Etsy generally won't send an email. They'll just shut you down. So it's not worth the risk. Protect your hard work by checking what you post, okay? So those are the two sites that you can go and just check what is trademarked so that you can confidently start creating your product. So like I said, copyright. I call it CYA, cover your ass. You work hard and you don't want to lose your shop. Are there any questions regarding the trademark? Did everyone get those two websites? Just be aware of somebody else's intellectual property. If you are doubting what you're designing, it should come up right away in your mind saying, I better check to see if this is trademark. We know all the obvious ones. So the one for Canada, again, let me just go back, is called ic.gc.ca. And that is Innovation, Science, and Economic Development. You'll just go through into English. You'll scroll down and to the right because they have the most requested trademarks. And you just hit trademarks. You're welcome. So just if you're in doubt, you want to check trademarks. Like I said, the obvious is the Disney, the NFL, the NHL, Nike, all the brands. You can't be using, they work hard to build their brand. Imagine if you worked hard on and designed something and it's going to happen, somebody's going to take your design. So, that orange app where if you had a teapot and the sound a cow makes, they'll take your listings, your design, they'll take your mock-ups and they'll start producing it really, really cheap. You're welcome. Really, really cheaply. And there's nothing you can do about it. We're small fries in a big world. We're not going to hire a lawyer to go after a company in another country. We don't have those resources. So it may happen to you one day that someone takes yours. But if somebody else is selling it on the site, you actually can report them to Etsy too. But of course, we're going to message them first. Say, listen, I see that you have taken my design. I'm flattered. But if you wouldn't mind removing it, because I owned the copyright to that. Even though it's not registered, the day you post it, Etsy can see the day you posted it. And you can file a case with Etsy and have them have it removed. It's not. It is not. cadenas. It should be in there, but it's one of the tabs that if you just explore, and once you set up an item in Printify, it automatically assigns it. It should be in there, and I could modify it. But yeah, the print partner is just under settings. I just kind of highlight it briefly when I'm teaching. So you just add your print provider and say that you are using one. Because Etsy asks you with each listing. What I just showed you was a way to do it so you don't have to do it each time. Because Etsy listings shows your print provider. So yeah, I should modify that. Okay, so now that I've covered the copyright and we've got that all, we're going to design confidently now that we're not using somebody else's saying. Hi, Joey. Hope you're having an awesome day and a great Monday. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're killing it. So just if you're in doubt, jump to the trademark sites. Like I said, the obvious is obvious. We're not going to be doing Disney, NFL, NHL, Nike, any brand names because they own the rights to that. They worked hard on their business. And like I said, if you want how you would feel if your intellectual property, a design you made, was taken. So it's the same way. And they're big companies, so they keep on it. They have special departments that look for copyright infringements because they want to make their money. So we'll do that. And now we get to go into creating our products. Now that we know that we're not going to be using it or we have to shift because, we found out the word we want to use is copywritten. So that's all covered. We want to make money and not lose money on our shop and have it shut down. So this is the fun part, designing. Who doesn't like designing? We all want to, it's the fun part. It is 100% the fun part on Etsy and print on demand. So we're going to be using AI tools like Midjourney, Playground. We're going to design something in Canva. And whether you're doing print on demand or selling a physical item, you're just, the creativity is going to come through using these tools. My brand is B Bella, but I see there's a registered business name, B Bella. Is it okay to use? Your .Bella, if that's a different version. I'm not a lawyer or a trademark lawyer, but if you type in your exact business name, I don't know if I would risk it since yours has a dot, but if the dot's not in theirs, you'd have to do some research on that. Like I said, I'm not a trademark lawyer, but if they really wanted to come after you, depends what, if they're active, if you can find their business, you'd have to make that call on your own. Search it with the dot and see what comes up. Okay, so Canva, whether you're a creative pro or you're just a beginner, Canva is plug and play, drag and drop. I'm not sponsored by any of these that I'm showing you. So these are ones that are my favorites. And we went through that in lesson number 3, 4 core products that I use for designing. You're welcome to use whichever ones you are comfortable with. So the 4 core I covered was Midjourney, Canva, Playground, and ChatGPT to assist. Hi, Kat. Welcome in. Hope you have a great Monday. So this is where profit begins. Canva is going to be your sidekick for everything, not just for designing, but for making mock-ups. Just assisting with making everything look pretty. From making, if you're doing digital products, your hyperlinks, anything you want to provide to the customer. Canva has so many applications, even for your socials when you're promoting to Pinterest. There are so many things that you use Canva for. Now, you can 100% get away with just the free plan in the beginning. I do recommend the pro version because then it offers background remover, transparent backgrounds, resizing, editing tools, magic erasers. As you get going, you'll see that those tools are very, very valuable. Now, I will show you the free tools to remove background, to change yours to 300 DPI, which we want for printing. It's what the standard for what printers want. It's high quality. I will show you some free tools shortly so that you can get by with the free version without all the, the background removal, because that's very important with print on demand. And I do cover print on demand and digital in these lessons. Has ChatGPT recently gone up in price? I went to subscribe again, but I don't remember it being 20. I know it's always been 20. I have not upgraded yet because I seem to get by just fine right now with the unpaid version. Again, until more sales come rolling in and we get going, I don't want to pay that extra fee right now. I know there's a lot of assistance in there. I can set up custom. I'm just not quite ready for it yet. But yeah, that's the price that I remember it being. So we can design everything in here, from our graphics to your invitations to digital art. We can resize them in here and make them all nice and pretty. If you do not have the pro version though, and you're doing invitations, you will not have the share template link for the customer. So if that's really the niche you are going into, is invitations, whether it be birthday, wedding, baby shower. If you're going into that whole realm, you might want to take a look at a site called Cordial. I'll bring it up quickly. This is just a recommendation. So Cordial. Again, you have to pay for this site. So either you pay to do your invitations here, or you need Canva Pro, or else you won't have the template link. Okay, so they do have a 15-day trial. So if that's really going to be your niche and you're ready to go on designing them, you may want to do it within Cordial. But if you're going to pay the $12.99 for Cordial, you might as well just upgrade and get the Canva Pro so that you can have that template link, and I'll show you. So if you come in to make an invitation and you need now to share this, and also note that if you use Pro Elements on here and your customer does not have a Pro account, upon checkout, they will be charged for those Pro Elements. So you have to keep that into consideration too, to be using free elements when you do your designs. With Cordial, you can use all of them. So when you go to share, and you go see all here, when you're all done your design, see this template link, so you can send the link to your customer to come in and edit it. It has a crown beside it. It's a pro feature. So you cannot do invitations unless you have the pro, because you're not going to be able to share the link for the customer to put their details. Cordial is, I don't cover this in the guide. Cordial is just a website that you can design invitations and share them with your customer. I don't have an account because I have the pro version. It's something you can explore. You can get some tutorials on it so you can see if that is going to be your niche, and you're sticking strictly to things that are customizable, like the invitations. Check out a few YT videos and check it out. I pay for a pro, so when I do my invitations, I can edit them right within here and share the template only in a PDF. So my customer gets a PDF. They get the template link. It brings them right into the invitation. Let me bring up an invitation here. Let me just bring up an invitation so I can show you what I'm talking about. Let me just search. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up here. Here's an invitation. Completely customizable. All these fields are customizable. When I go to share, you can see this template link is live. So I copy the link. I hit template link. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to mess up my listing. I hit the link. It comes up. I copy and paste it, and I put it into a PDF. When you don't have Pro, you can't do that. You can't get your customer to it. So if that is your niche, you might want to check out Cordial, specifically for invitations. Now let's go here into, there's so many tools in Canva, and we're dealing with print on demand now. So we want to go and make a t-shirt. You get here to Canva and you go, okay, where do I start? You're thinking, oh, okay, we know we have to have certain specifications for great graphics, but how do I get the size that I have to work with in print on demand? Well, we first, of course, have to go over to Printify and get our specs for what we want. So we will go over, and just note that most designers, printers work in pixels, because that's what this is. All these things are dots per square inch, DPI, pixels, right? So many dots make up this whole image, right? The pixels. So wherever you're designing, you're going to know it's pixels. So just be aware of that. You can switch to inches if you're doing artwork, but you're going to have to know what the DPI is. How many pixels you should have to have 300 DPI. And there's DPI converters out there, and I will show you a free one, because again, it's a pro feature in Canva. So we're going to start designing in Canva, but we need to find out how much space we have to work with the product we're going to do. In these lessons, I just choose a t-shirt. So we're going to go to the catalog, and we're not going to get sidetracked. I'm just going to click t-shirt. Here you have to decide. You're going to have to decide what t-shirt you want. Printify will tell you what the best sellers are. So the Gildan 5000, the Bella Canvas 3001, the Gildan 64,000, and this one's trending is the Comfort Color 1717. So Printify will tell you what the best sellers are. You can go through if you're looking for a certain one, if you want a cutoff tee, you explore what you want in the catalog. Just note each print provider and each shirt have a different pixel requirement, the space they give you. So that varies by the print provider. So I'm going to choose the Bella & Canvas 3001. It's a unisex t-shirt. I have ordered a sample because I wanted to see, how my print provider was. I want to see the quality of the t-shirt. I love it. I save a few dollars here compared to, this one here. Until I get going and really get, profits coming in, that's, $17, because I don't have a Printify Premium where they give you the 20% discount. So $17 compared to $15, that's a couple of dollars more profit in my pocket. The shirt is great quality. So I would click on that. And remember, we're coming in here to find out what size pixels are we allowed? How much room, what size can we do for this shirt? So I've picked them. The next thing you're going to do is come in and find your print provider. So Print Geek, Duplium. Wow, my favorite is dropped down a couple of points here. So it will tell you the location of your print provider right here. This, of course, is their ranking. They're rated 9.5 stars, 9.4. The other thing into consideration before you start designing is, what is your design going to be? Front, side, or front, back? Are you having a print on your sleeve? Are you getting a neck label, your own brand on the inside? You can have that at additional cost. So you have to think about what you're printing. If it's just a single front, like this one here, front side, back side, that's fine. The colors you want to feature, you make sure your print provider carries them. This one carries only 17 colors, so if I wanted another color, I may have to go with this one because it offers 34. And it doesn't have the color I want. So before you even decide on a print provider, you want to take a look at that you're going to be able to get your design on your product and have the shirts you want. You'd hate to pick a print provider, get it all uploaded, and realize they don't have the sand color you want. So you have to go to another print provider. So keep in mind your rankings here. I do recommend, I'm going to bring it up. You say, well, how do I know which print provider to... which print provider is good? Okay, Okay, let me just bring this up. I recommend you must have a Printify account to join, because they verify, because staff members from Printify are in this group and answer questions and help out when they can. So they will verify that you actually have a Printify account to allow access to this account. Now, what this account does here on the Book of Faces here is you can keep up to date on new products. You can find out if there's any shipping issues. Like here, 39 minutes ago. Has anyone else been getting this lately on new Printify orders? An unexpected issue appeared with your order. We are already working to resolve it as soon as possible. I had it pop up 2 different orders today. I'm still waiting for chat support to shed some light. So you can follow along. Like I said, staff members from Printify are in here. Say you had a product suggestion. You get tips and tricks. This is one of Printify's staff members, Hank. They've made a new feature. Here's your chance to test it first. So you get all kinds of, they're super busy. As you can see, they have 42,000 members, and that keeps going up. So yeah, just be patient. It's not like there's only 10 people in the group. They have to go through all of them, and they have to verify you are actually on Printify. Oh, Salty, don't let Printify make you nervous at all. Just don't worry about that. And tonight at the 8 o'clock lesson, I'll be going through Printify setup, and that's what scares people. So if you can come to tonight's class at 8, I'll be doing this Printify setup. That's what lesson we're on. So just join that group, a wealth of information. It lets you know how the print providers are doing, if there's shipping issues. It just helps you keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the POD world with Printify. So we were in Printify. So take your rankings here. I'll give you an example I'm not throwing any shade. This used to be the go-to print provider. Used to be the go-to. They have dropped so much because they're having problems. And that may come with, they have new staff who, anytime someone new starts at a job, they're not going to be perfect, but it impacts us as sellers. It impacts our sales to our customers. Printify is very good at rectifying any print issues. If it's off-centered, if it's faded, they're really good at that. So it's a good place to keep on track with what's going on within Printify, so you're not left guessing. So I'm going to take this one here. And remember, we're just coming in here to get our dimensions so we can start designing in Canva. So we're going to hit Start Designing. I've picked my Bella and Canvas 3001. I know they have the colors I want. And every time, it doesn't matter if you're selling a mug, if you're selling coasters for the car, dog bandanas, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. You come in and you get this little print area size see it's in pixels, for your Canva. That's what size it's going to be. And like I said, the standard in the printing industry is minimum 300 DPI. It's high quality. Okay, so they want it in 300 DPI. And how are you going to get that 300 DPI? Well, by these pixels. By these pixels will give the right dots per square inch. So we're going to grab that 3600 by 4200, and you just have to come in here, and I'll show you a couple more. If you go into, let's go to catalog again. If you're doing a mug, okay, we're just going to pick this mug. We're going to come down to our print provider. I'm going to start designing, and boom. For my mug, I need it to be 2550 by 1098 pixels. So that's where I would start in Canva. Wild, I love. Oh, you live in Paris? Hi, Jasmine. Hi, neighbor. Welcome. Yep, I am in Paris. Well, I love Paris too. So live. We live to love Paris. Well, hi, neighbor. So that's where we're getting our pixels right there. And that's our template for the mug. And that's what will open up in Canva. So should we always order a sample for each item before listing? Well, I mean, in a perfect world, that would be nice. You start to put trust in your print provider. That's going to get very expensive because you pay shipping for each item you order, plus you pay the cost. So if you want to see how your print provider prints, order one. I was very happy with mine, and I've had no complaints with any of my products from Printify. Hi, OZG. Hi, OZG. So remember, we're just coming in here so we can start designing. And like I said, every single product, go to the catalog. Let's see, mouse pad pets, whatever everything's going to have that. Let's go into car accessories. So here's the soapstone coasters for the car. You're going to come in. You're going to pick, there's only one print provider who offer this coaster, so you don't have a choice. Start designing. And there we go. Boom. That's how many pixels you need to start with in Canva. And they give you the template. So we're going to go back over to Canva. We got our t-shirt design. I'm going to create. So 3600 by 4200 is what I have the space to work with. So create a new design. So I now know my design can be this big. This is what I have to work with right here. You can't go outside that area, so you keep your design within here and you're going to be good to go with your product. I'm glad we didn't scroll too much in the catalog, because it's, you know, it's wonderful to, I love browsing through the catalog. What are we making now? So just take in mind what print provider you're going with, whether you're doing a design on the sleeve, if you're doing front and back, if you want your own custom label. Every shirt has a different pixels. I should show you that. My mistake. Hold on. So we go to the catalog. If you want a t-shirt, I did pick my Bella and Canvas. If you go to Comfort Colors, and if you choose a different printer, let's see, let's go start designing. Look at this one. It gives me 3600 by 4110. A little bit smaller print area with that print provider. So you'll get to know your print providers if you need a larger area. Let's check the Gildan. Or let's go in the Bella and Canvas. And let's find a different. My print provider I picked allowed those dimensions. Let's go to Monster Digital. Start designing. So look at here. They've got 4500 by 5100 is what they have for the print area. So if you're making those big bachelorette shirts or those large graphics that are trendy right now, you need a print provider who's going to allow you that space. And see how much bigger it is? And that's based on the print provider and what machines they have, how big they can print. So if I want to do the bachelorette, I would pick Monster Digital, because look at how much area I have to do that big graphic, any big graphic shirt. So you have to explore what your print providers offer in printing area. So that's Monster Digital. And each, like I said, each print provider has a different space. Let's see what Shirt Monkey offers. So they're 4500 by 5100 also. So you just have to keep that in mind based on your design. You have to find your print provider. I want to check Print Geek here. And they're 3600 by 4800. So as you can see, my Canadian providers don't print on the larger area. So if I want to do those specific designs, like in the bachelorette niche, I have to pick a US provider who has a bigger print area. Can you choose a US printer for US order and Canadian printer for Canadian order? Yes, you can. And I do that in Printify. It's kind of not the basics. So I really don't show you in the basic lessons. What you do is you just duplicate your order and change the print provider. And then you have to manually approve those orders. So you have to duplicate. Like I said, it's kind of not basic. So that's why I don't teach it really in. So you would have to come here. I'm just answering questions. You're going to go in here. You're going to, you can hit replace or copy. I hit replace, go in, change the print provider. One for US customers, one for Canadian customers. So yes, you can do it. That's in here. You can come in here and replace. You can replace the print provider and just change the listing as you go, or you can make a copy of it and set up one for US and one for Canadian print providers. Again, Rika, it's really not a basic. I don't want to confuse people with Canadian US orders. I want to get them rolling on their shops. So you can copy to. It won't let me copy this product. Okay, wait. Yeah, there we go. And then you copy the product and change that, because then you manually redirect your orders. But like I said, it's not basic. So I'm going to go back onto designing. So hopefully you can explore that. Do you use Printify pop-up shop or Etsy stand store, etc. to sell the shirts? I have Etsy shop. We had a postal strike last year here in Canada, lasted 33 days. I had started my Etsy journey in July. I had opened my shop the prior year, but never got to it. And then I started print on demand. We had a postal strike. I had to take my 44 items down. I just made them inactive because there's no way to ship them. Even if I switched it to a US provider, as soon as they get here, there's no one to deliver them. So I had to take down all my Halloween, all my Christmas, and pivot to the digital side. So I have all my stuff ready to launch again. And I do have a pop-up store, which I have not yet explored. It's open and that's ready to go. And those are the only two that I do for the print on demand. So yeah, Rika, you can take a look at that. Oh, you're welcome. Take a look at that on your own. And like I said, it's kind of not basic and I don't want to confuse people who are just beginners and starting. So we're going to design something. So I got my measurements, 3,600 by 4,200. I'm just going to create a new design. And I know which space I have to work with. Now Canva has thousands upon thousands of elements. And just like what I talked about copyright is, it's recently used. Let's go to nurse. I'm going to make a t-shirt based on nurses. Throughout these lessons, I stick with the nurse niche. So we have thousands of elements, but just like on Disney, somebody designed this to sell to Canva. They supply Canva with their elements. So we cannot take this nurse and claim that as our own. I mean, we're way more creative than that anyway. You cannot use one element and claim it as your own to have the commercial rights to your design. Even when you go to share it, when you go to download it and you hit download, it's going to tell you failed. There's only one image or graphic on your design. Premium images cannot be exported on their own. Add more elements and then try again. So you cannot export a single image. You have to build on that. You have to build it up, and which we're going to do. So I want to make a nurse's t-shirt. And we're going to make a nurse's t-shirt in each of them. You know, this is similar design. I could play around with this. I don't like that. And just another little tip. Yes, the pop-up does come up, Kat. It just tells you cannot download a single image. You're probably sitting there and you go to check your files and it's like, where is it? I download, you hit download again. It just says failed. Now I have the Pro, and if you don't have the Pro feature, just click these little filters here, come down and tick on free. Out of sight, out of mind. It will only show you now free elements that you can design with, okay? You know, it's kind of like when you see it, you want it, but can't have it because you don't have Pro. So just tick that off to filter it to just free elements that you can use. Still lots of elements. I have Pro, so I'm going to work on Pro elements. So I kind of lost. I wanted that little disco looking heart. Oh, there it is there. See, I want to kind of keep in the same vibe as this one. Now, if you find a vibe you like, you can click here. And this Natisha has made these. I can go view more from her because she seems to design. I'm going to stick that there. She seems to do the heavy outline, you know, the vibe I want. So I'm going to go check all her graphics out. And you can do that. It's similar. similar styles, and you can see she draws in a very, very similar cartoonish style. She's got some watercolors, but you can find similar items by that artist who created these. So that's just another little tip when finding elements. So I like this nurse's hat here. And if you've been here before, I do the same designs just for simplicity of the lesson. So I like that. I'm going to position that. I'm going to send it to the back because I don't want it in front of my words. I'm going to go to the back. It's a little small, so I'm going to pull it up a little bit. Maybe move this down so the heart sticks out a little bit. Oh, then I lost my little star there, my little disco ball, so I might make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to center them both. Centered. Is this one centered? Centered. Might make this bigger, the hat. Perfect. So see, because the same artist drew these, so the nurse, the daisies are the same on the hat. It's got the same outline. It's just all cohesive. So I'm just going to group those two together and bring that down. Remember, I have this whole area to work with for the front of my shirt that I know none of it will get cut off. So I can stretch this out a little bit bigger and fill my whole space up. Perfect. So I want to jazz it up a little bit. I'm going to go in here and you just keep building. Keep building on your design within Canva. Now stars. Okay, these I think are my favorite ones. But what you can do is hit these again, the three little ellipses, and you can star it. You can star the star. It's basically favorite. And then your favorites, because if you use the same stars all the time, they don't always appear in the same order and elements, and you're searching forever and you go, Jesus, where is that one? I know it's here somewhere. And then it just gets stored in your star ones over here to the side in your toolbar. Right here, starred. So I know when I want that star, I just come in. I have a few stars that I like, depends what I'm designing. So I like that star and I just save it. So I don't have to keep looking for it because sometimes you can't find it. Same with rectangles. If you find a rectangle you like, you can change the color, but not all rectangles can you reshape in the middle here. It's usually just the corners and the sides. So when you find something, star it, then you'll never look for it again. So I'm just going to add a couple of little stars around here just to bring it up. Now I find these stars are a little flat just as they are. See how flat they are? My cord is stuck. Hold on, guys. There we go. So see how those stars are just a little bit flat, no depth, and our design here is outlined. So it kind of looks flat, and on a shirt that's going to look flat. So what we're going to do, and this is, you don't have to have Pro for this feature. You're going to hit Edit. These are all the paid things that you don't get with your free version. We're just going to go to Shadows. The drop shadow just gives it some depth, so you're going to click that and watch the stars, what happens. I'm going to hit the drop shadow. It just gives it a little lift. So on your product you're making, it's just it looks 3D now, not so flat. And you can do that with a lot of elements. If you think something's looking a little odd, do a drop shadow. Give it that effect. And then I do that one and I want to duplicate them. So I'm just going to put one over here. And I can make that smaller if I like. I can make this one smaller. And just move that over there. And then duplicate, because we've already put the shadow on, so we want to work smarter, not harder. And there, now we've got kind of a design is coming together, and I've used 3 elements. Now you can carry on. Like I said, you can just keep building. Let's go to, I'm going to do, let's do a, sorry guys, I'm going to do a paint burst. Let's see if we can find some kind of fun paint burst that I like. My point here is that you can just keep building onto your design. It's where your creativity comes in. Oh, here's a paint burst. So I can come in here and add the paint burst. Now we're going on the outside here, so that's going to be cut off in our design because we know what area we have to work within. So I'm going to put that there. It looks like I can bring it out just a little bit more. And then I'm going to position that, and I'm going to send that to the backwards. And put it in behind. So you can, like I said, your creativity shines through here. We are making a design for a t-shirt for print on demand. So you can just keep building. The possibilities are endless within Canva. That's where your, like I said, your creativity will come through. Now I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to put it on a shirt and show you quickly. So I've picked my shirt. I know my dimensions. I'm going to go to, you go to upload to Printify, and I'll get more into this in lesson 6. Upload it. I already have this design in here. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to pop in my nurse. Again, I can stay within these safe lines and we'll cover that. I just want to show you what the design looks like that we made on Canva. Okay, preview. So there, that's what it would look like on a shirt. It looks pretty flat in Canva and you can't envision it. I mean, that's pretty cute. You can add more. I took out the burst for this one here. And then of course you get it on all different colors. So it's not bad. You just have to keep building. And that's how simple it is in Canva to make your designs. You know, when you're feeling in that creative mode and you have something specific in mind, you can do that. So that's how we set up our canvas in Canva. We go to Printify, we get the pixels we need, and then we know what space that we are designing in, that we have to stay within. And that's what I did. I stayed in here, so I knew none of it was going to get cut off. So then when you're all happy with what you're doing here, I'm just going to get rid of this burst. I'm going to delete the burst. Okay, delete. So now when you go to download it, you're going to hit share. You're going to hit download. PNG form. On Printify, they show you what's in that direction there, what size you need. They show you the formats that they want them in. I do mine in PNG. Now here's the most important part. You must hit transparent background. We don't want this big white square to print on our shirt. So, and this is a pro feature, transparent background. So I'm going to download it without a transparent background and show you what happens. So I'm going to download it. And it will download fine because we have more than one element. Do we have to advertise a shirt on Printify, or Printify itself sells it? No, you have to have a shop to sell your product. You know, Etsy, pop-up, Shopify, any of those stores. And then you kind of do have to promote it yourself. Etsy brings in 90 million customers on their own. So you have to have a platform to sell it on. Okay, so we're all completed and downloaded. So if you do not remove the background, a transparent background, let me just get a shirt up here. I'm going to show you what happens. Let's go to True Royal. I'm going to delete this. Come on. I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to upload the one I just did. So upload. If you do not do a transparent background, this is what's going to happen. Okay, you get the white around your image. So that's why it's important to remove your background. Unless that's part of your design and you want the background in there. If you've got a gradient or you're doing something like that, you'll get that square image. But I wanted just the design. So that's why we removed the background. Of course, it doesn't show on a white shirt. Oh, these mock-ups are just horrendous. Okay, so we have that compared to, oh, I pulled up the one without the background again. Compared to this. So like I said, unless you want that background look that's part of your design, you need a transparent background. And you're saying, okay, well, I don't have Canva Pro. Remember I said I would show you a free tool? We're going to do that now. Okay, so this site here is called remove.bg. If you just want to write that down, this is a free background remover. So you can remove your background here for free. So if you have just the free version of Canva, once you download your design without the background removal, the transparent background, you're going to come here. So we're going to upload our image. And I'm just going to take that one that I left with no background. I'm going to open it and watch quickly, okay? Because it happens so fast. Background is removed. And you can always tell because there's now a checkered board, a very light transparent background here. So it's no longer white. So you would just download that and then you'd be ready to upload it to Printify. So that's a free tool, remove.bg, for those who do not have Canva Pro. And it comes in handy too if you're using other programs that you don't have access to the background removal. So that's a free tool for that. Just remember, you want a transparent background. Because in Canva, those features are paid features. Where is our design? Here we go. Oh, right here. So they're paid features. If you were to upload it, let me add another page here. I'm going to upload something. I just want to keep this girl and I want to remove the background. You can see here, background removal is a pro feature. Background gone. Now, if I wanted a transparent background, right here is a pro feature. So that remove.bg is a wonderful resource for removing the backgrounds on your designs. So any questions? And always remember in Canva to name your project. It makes it much easier to find your project. I'm going to delete that. Like up here, you're going to, you could have left the size in there if you wanted to, 3600 by 4200, or added in nurse design. Because when you start to get a lot of designs and they're just numbered, it's very hard to find if there's a problem and you need to fix the image. Nurse design, 3600 by 4200. So I know the pixels. So I know what shirts it can go on. And you just save it. So any questions on Canva? It's just a brief, I'm just showing you briefly. We're not going in depth to all the hidden features and hidden stuff. That's not basic. You can go and say, give me hidden codes. I'm sure you've seen them for hidden letters, bubble letters, and you have to type in a code number. In Canva, all your design tools are here. You can add text if you're making things, if you're doing AI and want to leave the text out, because we know some AIs are not very good with text. We'll do that shortly. You can put your text. There's all your tools, your projects, and there's apps within an app. And I discovered this one right within Canva. If you type in apps, so there are apps within Canva. So we're on apps. If we type in background cleaner right here, very first background cleaner. They will give you 10 free credits. So you can remove 10 backgrounds, and it refreshes daily. So if you're doing more than 10 designs a day, you can use the remove.bg. But right here within Canva is an app called Background Cleaner. So you can erase the background. Okay, right here. I'm going to select this. Ooh, hold on. We're going to group this all together. Sorry, group. And erase background. Erase background. So it is erasing the background for me. So that's in apps here within Canva, but you only get 10 a day. So just remember remove.bg to remove the backgrounds of your images. So you have that nice transparent background. So like I said, you can use all kind of eye-catching things. There's templates in there that you can, you can work from. You have your toolbar over here that allows you to do many things. You can explore the apps. They're not all free. Some of them are paid. But basically your elements are going to be your design buddy to create whatever you need to. And we use Canva a lot when we do mock-ups in lesson number 7. So next we're going to move on to, we've downloaded it, transparent background. We're going to go and design something in Playground. So I touched base on this tool in lesson number 3, must-have tools. So we are on Playground AI. There is a free version. Let me just go to it, pricing. So for free, you can create 10 images every 3 hours. So really come in with a plan if you're designing something so that you're not remixing. Have a clear vision. After creating we need to group before downloading. You don't have to. I just do it to center it and keep them all together. You do not need to group before downloading because a PNG is going to be flat and they're all together. So you'll be okay. You're welcome. So 10 images every 3 hours. You get 3 GPT-4o edits per month. The 4o is the higher premium, which is incredible with words. AI has problems with spelling. Playground is I think, miles above anyone else right now when it comes to spelling. They get a gold star. And you can use the images commercially. So come in with a plan when you want to use Playground. And this is playground.com. Playground.com. Come in with a plan of what you want. With Playground, of course, we're staying on the t-shirts. So they have all these categories: posters, logos, mobile wallpaper, stickers, ebook covers, monograms, memes, seamless patterns if you're making blankets, flyers, hats, all kinds of stuff. Signed up for Playground Pro yesterday. Woohoo! That's awesome. That is awesome. You're gonna love it. I absolutely love it. So it doesn't mean you will, but congratulations. That is wonderful. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to stick with our t-shirt. Yes, I did the lame round of applause. Congratulations. Okay, so we're going on t-shirts. Now, this is how Playground works. Playground has already done the research for you. They're showing you what's trending right now. And of course, Halloween, it has been for about 3 weeks, but now it's pretty much all Halloween because Halloween needs to be listed ASAP. People are already buying. This is playground.com. It is an AI program. So they show you what's trending. We know geese are trending. Mama's always trending. We've got, Halloween. So they always tell you what is trending. So you can take one of these and just alter it. We're making a nurse's shirt. So I'm going to continue on with the nurse's shirt. And I'm going to, let's see, bloom as you are, because I want a floral. So I like this. I want to kind of get a floral. I want to start with florals. Now, playground, because you like this, they're like Netflix, you may like these. So I'm going to go through here and just take a look. I want that retro groovy look. Oh, here we go, right here. And if you've been in my lessons before, I use the same example. Now, just like any other program, they have pro templates. Anything with the pro, you won't have access to. There are plenty without pro that you can take inspiration from. But you cannot use these templates as they are right here. So I have the paid version. So I can use model 4.0, which I'm going to be using words. So I'm going to use the 4.0 image. The version 3, which comes with the free program, is just for basically images. And then you would take it into Canva and add your text. So all these programs work hand in hand. You have several options down here to change the style, resize. If you don't like the color palette they give you, and again, you can do a custom one with Pro. You can come in and choose if you want a different color palette. If you're going for a more desert vibe, you can choose your color. I'm just going to, right now, I'm going to just change the words and see what it gives us. So I'm going to do a simple prompt. Can you change the words to nurses are groovy? So I'm just doing a simple prompt. I don't need anything fancy. You'll see when I do mid-journey that you need to have a little bit more explained prompt. And we use more of mid-journey in mock-ups in lesson number 7. So this is just the little meter that shows you how quick it's going. I can't recall if on the free version, if it shows you that or not, or if that's a pro version. I can't recall. It's been a while since I've signed up. Okay, perfect. Look at that. Nurses are groovy. Love it. 100% love it. And look at that spelling. And that's AI. So that 4.0 version has no problem with words. So that is perfect for a t-shirt. I would export it. And with the paid version, again, I'm not sponsored by any of these programs whatsoever. It's just what I love and find very efficient. Here I can upscale and it will remove the background for me. Now, I always get worried about this white with the black. It usually takes the white out. See what it does this time. So it's upscaling it to high pixels for me. And it's removing the background. Let's see if it takes away those white daisies up here. And look at it. I think it did. I think it took out the white daisies. I can't tell, so let me download it. I'm going to download upscaled. And let's see if it took it out. White can be tricky on background removal, and it did. So my solution for that, because AI is not always perfect, I go back, and what I do is I export it again. I'm just going to upscale it by 4 and take it with the background. This is playground.com. So I'm just going to upscale it and download it with the background. Like I said, AI is not perfect, and because this is a white daisy, it should have defined it with this black outline that's not part of the background, but it didn't. So I just upscaled it. I'm going to download the upscaled, so floral. And believe it or not, I'm just going to go to remove.bg. And I'm going to add another one. And I'm going to bring that one in here and let them do it. So I'm just going to let remove.bg. and it kept the white. See, because remove.bg is specializes in background removal, where AI sometimes doesn't do a great job. So look, it didn't take out my white daisies where the AI playground did. So then I would just download that. So if it doesn't work, you're welcome, Zelly. If it doesn't work and you're saying, oh my gosh, it's taking out my design, I don't want that gone, just download it and bring it into remove.bg. And that goes for any AI program. Just leave the background and come use the remove.bg. So let's go back into Playground here. So I'm quite happy with that. And that would be my design. And let me just quickly bring that up into here. I'll edit, delete. I have it in my library, so I'm just going to bring it up. Uh-oh, see, that one has the background. So that's not going to work. I don't want that. This is why we remove the background. So that is 100% what I do not want. And that's what happens when you leave the background in. So I'm going to go delete that. Much better. I'm going to bring it up as high as I can here. I'm going to center it. I might want to make it just a little bit bigger. No, I don't. Here you can input the size. If you just want 11 inches wide, you have to take in consideration size small. You don't want it to go under the armpits. You have to take into consideration when you're designing. Are you part of a PPP? I'm not sure, Digital Rose, what a PPP is. If you can, I'm not familiar with that acronym. So take into consideration size small. We don't want, the design go under the armpits. So just, I do 11 inches. I'll do a quick preview. And why I bring it over here is for the preview. Usually when you put it on a shirt, you can see something you may not like or you missed. And that's pretty good. I like that. Nurses are groovy. So that's what that one looks like on that shirt. So we've done our nurse one. I'll do a couple more here to show you. Create. Now, just because it says art doesn't mean you have to use it for art or posters. If you like the design, you change it up. You can still put it in the right dimensions. Like limoncello was Mediterranean, European summers, always was hot. No, I do not, Salty, I do not design one for all the different sizes. You just set your size and it'll print 11 inches wide. So you don't have to do. It won't show you the size on a small shirt, but the mock-up here, I can tell she's wearing a small. You can look at all the other mock-ups on how it's going to look on different sizes in Printify. We are not going to be using Printify mock-ups when we do Printify. So it will print 11 inches on each shirt. I'm not sure what PPA is, Digital RN Rose. Digital RN Rose. No, I'm not sure what PPA community is. If you could elaborate on that. My brain's not working right now to get what PPA is. So let's go back into Playground. So like I said, you can go into other categories. And if there's something you're inspired by, you can make it for a t-shirt. You could change this. It doesn't have to be what it's used for. You're going to have it in the right pixels. Halloween art. See, here's Summerween, and we know because we did the copyright in the beginning, we know that this word Summerween is pending trademark. So we can use it right now, but once it is approved, we no longer can use Summerween because it's somebody else's intellectual property. This is playground.com. It's Playground AI. So let's see here. So I'm just looking at poster templates. Let's go back here. Let's go back to a t-shirt. Okay, I'm going to use this one here. Again, it's a pro one, but you can see there's a lot that are for free. Anything without the pro, that one's a pro. I'm going to go here. Time frame for delivery based on each print provider in Printify. They stipulate it. They're doing all the heavy lifting for us, holding inventory, printing, shipping. No, because they give you the commercial license. They give you the commercial license. Let me go back here for you. Even with the free version. So you do not need to worry about that. You can use the images commercially. You cannot use these templates. We stipulate in our policies when we set up Printify in lesson number 4, we set up no returns because print on demand is kind of custom. They're made one at a time. The only time we offer return is when it's been the print provider's error, that it's all faded, it's off center, and then Printify will reprint that. And we especially do not offer returns when we are doing custom personalized with names. So we're covered there. And the print provider, that's the only time we offer. We offer size charts in our listing that they can refer to and measure one of their favorite shirts. So the Plan Above Pro, what I have, sorry about that. I have this one. So I get to create 120 images every 3 hours, and I'd have to be a mad woman to get that done. Do you know what I mean? 150 GPT-4o edits per month. You get faster image generation, access to all premium designs, and unlimited upscaling and background removal. So it's very, very reasonable. Go and use the free one. Play around with other AI. See which ones you like. So it's my current plan here. You see, this is my current plan. And that's USD, just so you know. So it's pretty good. So we'll go back here, playground. I'm sure you're seeing it all over TT here. Let's go in here. So it is showing us what's trending. We cannot use these without reprompting them. So I'm going to go into this mama one. And because you like this one, you may like this. So you can scroll and find different things. You know, we got the coquette style and more coquette with mama. And that must be a black M and I can't see it. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to make it pretty simple. I'm going to come down here and see if I can find some Christmas colors. And we'll just scroll through all the palettes. See if I can find Christmas. Coastal, Sunrise Shore, Autumn, Earth. Oh, Festive Contrast. So I'm going to choose this, Festive. So this is considered a remix. I'm changing the template. So I will now have the commercial rights to use the one that is being changed here. Now don't forget, you can design in here images and go do your own text in Canva if you like. Add things in Canva. You can even build on here. And I'll show you that in just 1 second. So we kind of have the greens and the reds. I don't like the background, so I would just remove that background, and now you have your own. You have your own. You own that one. They tell you here at the beginning of Playground when you go in what's trending. Also in lesson 1, I taught how to do research and find out what's trending. So if you missed lesson 1, it is up on YT. The link is in my link tree. I have uploaded lessons 1, 2, and 3. Now they're very raw, just like I'm teaching it here. I don't have time to go in and edit it, and I'm not using any fancy cameras, just my phone. So it's up there. Lesson number 1 is research. And also in the guide, it's up in my link tree. I tell you how to do the research and all the sites to see what is trending. We do mock-ups in lesson number 7. It's a 2-hour lesson because your mock-ups are very important. Very, very important because that's what sells your product. So I have a whole lesson on that. And like I said, it takes about 2 hours. They eventually will all be on YT so that you can watch at your own leisure. We are on lesson number 5. Right now, I have my lessons on YT. Only 3 have been uploaded. That's why we have no music today, because this will be eventually uploaded too, and there's copyright issues. So they tell you what's trending here, and also in our research in lesson 1. And don't forget my guide. It's 113 pages. It's all these lessons. You know, if you're thinking I should be writing this all down, well, I've already done it for you. Okay, I've already written it all down in 113 pages. I do give a little bit more information as we go throughout the lesson. This one's going a little longer because we got a little sidetracked. Tried to keep these ones to an hour and a half. So there is the guide too up in my link tree, and it's very inexpensive. I'm not selling you a multi-level marketing $500 course. Then you have to come back and buy another one. It's $24.99 Canadian. It works out to be about $18 US, and it's 113 pages. It took me about 2 months to make, and there's places for notes. Yes, this is called playground.com that we're on. So they kind of show you what's trending here. They show you what's trending. The designs that are trending that is going on. So I'm going to go into here. Because you like this again. They give you other ones you like. And I'm just going to prompt this. Can you change this to here we go with this word again. Iridescent. I haven't... it just looks funny. Iridescent. Neon. Purples. And pinks. Let's say... Let's get witchy. Let's get witchy. I'm going to put the. Words should say, the let's get witchy. And I'm just going to prompt it. No, these lessons are, Melissa, these lessons are free. I'm here 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Friday. And if I can't make a lesson for some reason, I always post it in my story. And then you can, I'm slowly uploading them to YT that you could watch at your leisure. So I just reprompted this one. I asked it to have an iridescent neon pinks. And I think I asked greens. I should have done purples. Oh, I did purples. So the Let's Get Witchy Coven. So I just changed that. And this is kind of trending. This style here is trending. So after doing research, we know that this is the iridescent is kind of trending. So you can change that. There's a lot to explore in Playground, and you just have to play around with it. And I couldn't understand why they call it Playground. And I don't know what their tagline is, but it should be play around with Playground, because it's a wonderful beginner app, and it makes your job easier. Your creativity, we're all creative, but sometimes we have a hard time getting that out if you have to start from scratch. Let's go into this one. When you have to start from scratch. So this gives you a starting point. And again, because you like that, you like this. And I'm just going to make sure there's not one with... Oh, I'm going to use this one instead. So I'm going to say... And you don't need elaborate prompts. We can go into ChatGPT and get a prompt. Can you change this to a girl ghost with a pink cowboy hat and pink cowboy boots, twirling a lasso? The words should say Pink Ghost Club. So the 4.0 version on Playground is really good with words. You can always add words again in Canva if you're using your free 10 and don't want to use up your words. How do I market on Etsy? I use Pinterest. I don't cover marketing in the basics. This is just a basic guide on how to do all your back-end tools to use, how to do mock-ups, and how to do your Etsy listing. So I don't get into the marketing. That's something that outside of these lessons that people can explore on how to do that. Okay, so here we go. Pink Ghost Club. So it's playing on Pink Pony Club, which of course Pink Pony Club is trademarked. I don't like the lasso being pink, so I'm going to say, can you keep everything the same, but change the lasso to a rope color, and see if it'll do that for me. You can also mark it on socials too, Digital RN Rose. Again, you use Canva. They have templates. Whenever you do your mock-up, you just resize it, stretch things out, and create a video and post. And if you have a business, you should have a business account on those platforms, like on the Book of Faces. I do recommend setting up a business profile on Pinterest. It is free. And that's how you get it out, because Pinterest is a search engine. Okay, it turned it to blue. I don't want that. So I'm going to just go to ChatGPT. When it starts giving me difficulties, I am going to say, can you give me a prompt for Playground AI? Always say which AI you're using, because you know what? AI and AI, they're best buds, right? They know each other. They know how each other works. Can you give me a prompt for Playground AI? I want a cute girl ghost with a pink cowboy hat and pink cowboy boots, twirling a rope lasso. Adorable cartoon style ghost, playful smile, wearing a pink pastel cowboy hat and matching pink cowboy boots, twirling a rope lasso in midair, soft light, yellow background. I don't want yellow background. Not that it matters. I'm just going to copy that and go to Playground. I'm going to start with the original, because once you start remixing things, I find go a little kooky. I'm going to go paste. Soft. No, I just want a white background. So white background. I would like the words to say Pink Ghost Club. Okay, so I just had ChatGPT help. You have to tweak the prompt sometimes. It's not as detailed as a Mid-Journey prompt, which I'll use in lesson number 7. We'll do mock-ups in there. If I have a moment, I'm already over the time. When I have a moment, I will show you how Mid-Journey can create for you too. So we'll just give that one moment. And if you're finding you're having trouble getting 300 DPI images created, I will show you a tool. If you don't have Canva Pro, it's very hard to upscale things. And then you get it into Printify, and it tells you have a low quality image under 300 DPI. They will convert it for you, but I don't trust them. Oh, that is just not good. That is just not. So, my prompt was better. So you have to play around with it. And just remember, the more you remix it. It's up in my link tree, Andy's. My link is up there for my YT. So you just have to play around with Playground. You can get wonderful things. Now, I'm not going to take too long on Mid-Journey. We cover this in our tools. So I'm going to jump into a room here. Again, it's a creative space. Now, I do use ChatGPT for the above prompt to get a little bit more detail. Can you give me a prompt for Mid-Journey? I would like Oh, I would like a white background. And I know what happened with the prompt in Playground. I just noticed it. It told me to give a kawaii illustration style. So I'm going to take that out. I didn't notice that. See, it's telling a certain illustration style. I didn't see that, and that's my mistake. So let's go back and go back to Playground before we get the Midjourney one. I didn't notice it had that illustration type. It went a little further by giving a type of illustration. So I want a white background. I'm going to read the whole thing this time. How about if I could type? Adorable cartoon style ghost with a playful smile, wearing a pink pastel cowboy hat and matching pink cowboy boots, twirling a rope lasso in midair. White background, whimsical and charming, high detail, smooth lines, pastel color. Oh, I didn't even notice it gave me that kawaii style. That's why it didn't turn out well. It turned out exactly how that cartoon style was supposed to be, but not what I was looking for. So we'll just give that a minute. And I forgot to tell it to do, put pink ghost club. I don't pay for ChatGPT at this moment. Again, you get so many programs. Eventually I will. I quite enjoy ChatGPT. I do images. I do stickers. And I know I can get a whole lot more out of it. What I recommend when you're beginning is stick to a few programs. Find out which ones you like. Okay, that's a bit better. Howdy boo. I didn't tell them what words to put in. It just made up its own mind what to do. I wanted it to say Pink Ghost Club. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a sip of water. Yeah, it's cute, right? We know the pink and black aesthetic is in after our research. I would like it a little crisper, a little brighter pink, but that's pretty good. I don't teach Pinterest in these lessons. No, Miller, sorry. I don't. Again, it's not part of the basics. I'm trying to help people so they're not stuck. And if I get into Pinterest, it becomes overload. I could possibly offer, another lesson. I am looking at doing one-on-one coaching. You book me for an hour and we can discuss what you would like. If it's one lesson, or you want to talk about a few things in that 1 hour, it would be via video chat, and we share our screens, and I can help you out that way too. So I'm looking at possibly starting that. Oh, that's wonderful, Candina. Good to know. I put you down. I write you down. Yeah, if people are interested in that, I'm willing to, but I can't do that for free because then I'm working. I can't work all day. I can't work all day for free. I have to also do my work. So if I were to do, I would probably offer so many spots per day, just to have that one-on-one. And you can, if you wanted to know how to do the Pinterest, I can show you that. But it would basically stick to the lessons. And if you're struggling at one spot and you want to work on, can you show me how to design one-on-one? I'm glad. Thank you. I'm glad you think the book is helpful, the guide. I wish I had that guide. Hold on, guys. I wish I had that guide when I started. I've done hours of YT research. I had to watch a 40-minute video because they didn't timestamp it as to how I had to do this. Now, mind you, my lessons aren't timestamped because they're just raw like this. So I'm thinking about possibly doing that, where you would book a time slot and you would have the one-on-one. So I am working on that. So that's Playground. I'm just going to quickly show you Midjourney. We're going to do this. I asked for the same prompt. I don't want. I want vector style. I'm going to take away that kawaii. Copy, and we're going to go into Midjourney. So as usual in Midjourney, we always start off with /imagine. paste. I do not want the kawaii. Ghost with playful smile, wearing a pastel pink cowboy hat, matching pink cowboy boots. Perfect. Now, Midjourney does not do good with words. So we're going to prompt that. And we'll just wait for that image to, we get 4 images. Oh, lots of people are creating. Where did my design go? There we go. Oh, this one is so cute. So in Midjourney, you know, we go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, this one's even cute too. I just like this pashmina. She's got a lot going on there. So I'm going to, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, this is upscale 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or if we need to vary something, we can reprompt it. And when you reprompt one, you can add what you want. I love number 3. So I'm going to upscale number 3. Now, Midjourney is horrible with words. Absolutely horrible with words. So I upscaled 3. Oh, isn't she just so cute? Look at her. So we're going to export, open in browser. You always open in browser. We're going to download. Save page as. Yeah, it's so cute. Ghost Lasso number 50, I think. Save. Now, here's where you come into Canva. So we know we're doing this for a shirt. We have our dimensions or whatever you're doing. So 3600 by 4200. Midjourney no longer has a free trial. I started Midjourney back in 2023 when it first came out, I think, and it had a free one. It doesn't, unfortunately, now. So I'm showing it to you because as I get going and we create mock-ups, you can see the quality and then decide. It's $10 a month. I can show you the pricing on that in just a moment. Let me just create that. So let me go to Midjourney, because Midjourney also has its own private space. Okay, so if you don't want to be in that creative space altogether, and it saves all your images. So if you go to midjourney.com, you have your private space. Oh, the quality, yes, 100%. The quality on Midjourney is amazing. I canceled everything last year when we had the postal strike and started all over again. And I missed Midjourney. I said, okay, I won't renew it. I missed it. So this is what I have, 200 images a month. I never exceed it on the basic plan. They have a $30 a month plan and 60. And that's USD. So, I mean, for $10, give it a try for a month. Yeah, you know what? Microsoft Copilot, I agree with you, Shame Spiral. I've tried them all. And I'm even exploring new ones. But like I said, get programs, learn them well, learn how to prompt. I really like an AI that can do spelling. You know, that saves time. I mean, I can go into Canva and do spelling. But Playground is bang on with the spelling. So very reasonable. And you do have your own personal space here. So everything I've made, like in these lessons and my demonstrations and all my art, everything is saved here that you can come back. You come back and get the prompt. Especially, I mean, I save my prompts in lists because certain things, like when creating pet art, I can always come back here and get the exact prompt and just change. I used Bing AI and I'm not a fan, but that's my personal choice. I find it has, I mean, I demonstrated it here in lesson 3. I just save them to my notepad on my computer. So, you know, notes, I have one that's all prompts. So I just highlight them copy and paste it into my notes. But in Midjourney, it saves here. So I know what prompt I used to create this. So if someone comes to me and says, can you do a labradoodle? I get my prompt because I've prompted it for specific brush strokes, glistening eyes, a variety of things regarding how an artist would paint. So I saved my prompt and I just changed the pen. Okay, so that's Midjourney, so very inexpensive. So that thing we just did with Midjourney, that ghost. I've got my size I have for the shirt. I got my pixels in there. I'm just going to upload. I'm going to upload that ghost. Ghost lasso number 50. I'm going to open that up. And I'm going to put that on my canvas. And again, I know which space I have to work with. And I'm going to go over here to text. I just grab this one. So you can work in Midjourney. You can work in Playground. I'm going to do pink ghost. And I'm going to ungroup this. And I'm going to move this down. Oop, not that one. I want this one. Whoop. Okay, let's move that so I can grab that. And we go to here. I'm going to go to effects because I have to curve it the other way. We've got a curve here, so I'm going to curve it. That looks good. And I'm going to change that to club. I can mess around with the colors in the background here if I want to. I can go here, grab the eyedropper and grab the eyedropper and just grab this pink if I wanted to change it to that pink to match it. And so now it's in my document colors. And there you go. You put your text in on Canva. So we did this in Midjourney. We generated that image. We brought it up. Now we're going to share it. We're going to download it. Remember, transparent background. We're going to hit download. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We hit, I hit a something. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So we're downloading that with the transparent background. I think she's just so cute. Almost there. So we did our lettering in here. So pink goes PNG. I just want to kind of go preview it. I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to choose a different color to show you on. Let's try it on a pink. I'm just trying to show you. Let's try the charity pink. And then we're going to go here. We're going to upload my device. This is called, which one? We designed this ghost in Midjourney. Pink ghost. I'm going to open that up in here. It's going to put it on the shirt. Uh-oh. Didn't take out the background. See that? So that's not going to work. Delete that. We'll go back to Canva. Let's see if we can find which one it is. So I'm going to have to, let's get rid of that. Let's group this together. Background remover. There we go. I forgot to take the background out of the Midjourney one. So now she's kind of missing, if you see that, I'm going to ungroup. She's missing that circle that she looks like she's floating. So now I'm going to have to go here and I'm going to type in a hole. See if I can find one. There we go. Because she looked like she was floating, had a little shadow there. I'm going to grab that and let's see. I might just make that little transparent. Bring it down. She just had a little, like she's floating. Okay, let me go back in here. I'm just deciding if I want it that pink color. Yeah, I do. I want it that pink color. I'm going to bring it up, her little shadow. There we go. So now we have the background removal. I'm going to save it again, download. I'm going to transparent background. I forgot to remove the background from Midjourney because it gave me a white background. So we'll just re-download that. Pink Ghost, so it should be Pink Ghost number 1. Just that little detail of the little shadow. It just gives a little extra. And with the background removal, it took it out from the original one. Okay, so let's go back to Printify. I just want to show you it on a shirt. So we're going to upload. And number 1, and we're going to open that. It's uploading, adding file. Here it comes. There we go. And that pink shadow didn't show up in the thing. Forgetting I was putting it on a pink shirt. So I could make a special design for Charity Pink, and I could make a black shadow, but I'm going to leave it as is for now. And there we go, Pink Ghost Club. So the AIs work hand in hand with Canva. The ones that don't, like we generated this image in Midjourney, which I was horrible with words. Every video you see on here that's AI, and on the back it says police with 2 L's, 1 I, 6 C's, and an E. It's like, yeah, we can't tell that's AI. We know it's spelling. So we did these in Canva. Now, because it's pink, it's not showing up the pink on the background. Okay? These are things to take into consideration. So I'm going to show you, because that's on a pink, and you look, we don't have the glowy behind it. So you can make a specific design for that. Let me change the color of shirt. There we go. So preview, show more, watch this. So now we have the little pink highlight here, like the little hole, her shadow. We now have the pink around there. So the pink's only not going to show up on pink. So you could go back in if you wanted to change this in the background, if you wanted to change it to a black. So Pink Ghost Club, black, Pink Ghost Club. I'm going to change the circle to black. A little blacky gray, light transparent. So this would be for the pink shirt. So I would download that. So you can make a specific design for a color if you're losing some of your elements. Transparent background, download. That should be number 3. So I'm making this design specifically for the pink shirt because elements were lost, the glow. I'm just waiting for it to download. Good. And then we're going to Printify. So it looks fine on the white. I have all my elements, but look on the pink. When we go to preview, we've lost all those, that glowy around the outside. We lost the pink shadow because it's the same color of the shirt. So I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to make a specific design for Charity Pink. So when you are designing, take into consideration your colors if you want it on a certain color shirt. So I'm going to make a specific design for that color. I'm going to upload the one with the black glowy. Pink Ghost right there, number 2. It's uploading. So in your design process, remember what color shirts you want to offer. Will all your graphics and elements show up on the color shirts that you want? If this black would not show up on black. So there it is. It shows up now with that nice glowy effect because I changed the glow color. See, so now we have a nice little glow. We've got the little shadow and we have the glow effect, because we needed to change it because it was lost in pink. The pink was lost in pink colors. So here we go. Oh, I lost the white one. Let's go back to edit. Edit. Okay, so I'm just going to go back here to my library, grab this one, put it there, bring it up. Perfect. Preview and preview. So now we can see the pink. So take into consideration what color shirts you're going to do, and if all your colors are going to work with your design. And if not, you can see how easy it is to change when you have the option to bring it into Canva and adjust the colors. Now let's take a black. Oh, look at that. Let's grab the mock-up here. I'm just looking for the girl. Like that really pops on the black. So take that into consideration when doing your designs. Now, if you're worried about pixels, there's a thing called Convert Town. Let me go to Convert Town. Let me go to Convert.Town. If you want to make sure you're in 300 DPI, and I'll cover this more in lesson 6. You can upload any file here. You can go to thousands of powerful tools here, and here's DPI of an image. You would click that, and we want 300 DPI. If you're not getting the quality because you don't have Canva Pro, you're just going to choose an image. I'll just pick up the ghost. You're going to open it. It's so fast. It changes it to 300 DPI. Look at that, 300 pixels, 300 DPI in a matter of seconds. So you know you have a high quality image. You don't. You have to go into each product and in Printify, and they give you the dimensions. We covered that at the beginning, and I'll just go over it quickly because I'm on 2 hours right now, guys. This is an hour and a half class. We got sidetracked. So when you go into Printify, each product, let me just save this and get out. Every product has their own pixels that you open up your canvas in. And I always take it into Canva to make sure it is the right size. Let me get out of here. So when you go into your catalog and choose your item, right here, each product has their own. So this shirt, specific shirt, is 3600 by 4800 pixels. That's the space I have to use. And I can't go outside these lines. So that's what I set my canvas up for, so I get high quality images. Pink ghost, make sure it's centered. I don't want it that big, so I would change that to, I like about 11 inches, so it doesn't get lost on the shirt for smaller shirts. Preview. See, because if you have a small shirt, if you get too wide, the design's under the armpits for small, size small. You can do it whatever size you like, though. You can do whatever size you would like. Sometimes I find when they're too large, like 14 wide, you can do it. We're outside the bleed area, our danger zone. Let's preview that. And we're good. So it's your choice. It's your choice. So there's a lot of tools there. And remember, copyright. Cover your ass. Make sure you check out if anything's trademark words. Do not do Disney. Okay. Make sure that you stay compliant. You do not want to. You do not want to lose your shop over one cute Disney shirt or an NFL shirt. You just don't want to do it. So remember the copyright and find the tools you like to use. I covered Playground. Check it out. It's for free. Midjourney is no longer free. It creates some high quality images though. Look at that. That's incredible. And I just quickly made a t-shirt out of that. Remember, this is a creative space here. You cannot use somebody else's. They own the rights to their prompt. Use ChatGPT. If you're not familiar with prompting, if you're in here, you can learn how to prompt, and it won't take you long before you're saying, I want a cartoon style vector. You'll be surprised how quickly it happens. And don't forget, I have the guide up in my link tree. It's not necessary, but it's great a resource for when you can't catch a lesson or you don't want to watch the YT. Okay, you don't want to watch that whole YT video, and you just need an answer to a question. Drop it. Come back to a lesson. Drop it. I do. And my store is up in my link tree also. It's up there also. But tomorrow, what we will be doing, because I need to wrap this up, it's after 3. Tomorrow we are going to be doing Printify. So how to bring the files in, how to set up the variants. We're going to do all that. And in tonight's class, we will be doing Printify setup. Oh, you're welcome, Shame Spiral. And for those watching on YT, the link to my guide is down below in the description. So thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see some of you tonight. And if not, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great afternoon, guys. Peace.